Calling all units, calling all units. Donut Shop has a fresh dozen. Go ahead and take a 1040.
Hey guys, I'm sure that there's many of us that are aging and we've thought about hormone replacement therapy. I visited my doctors and discussed it, and I'm still kind of on the fence and not really sure what I want to do. But now I think I've kind of found it, and I know that we could all use a boost of testosterone in our life. Well, check out the best in the game, Human Performance Team. It connects you with doctors via telehealth, and you could submit your labs that you've maybe already done, or you can get fresh ones done. They offer a variety of services like primary care, urgent care, weight loss, and even mental health. We all know that, these jobs weigh on us and our mental health. Jump over to hptrt.com and use the code DSP for a continuous discount. Use the code DSP and get on a road to better health. Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Donut Shop podcast. I've got a special guest that if you tuned into last Thursdays or, whenever you're watching this episode, but most recent to this, last Thursday, I was on the Anti-Hero Podcast Squadcast. And one of the things we talked about was a recent viral video of an officer in a nightclub, singing a song from a band that I know really well, Senses Fail, singing that song. So on the Anti-Hero Squadcast, myself, Mike from Copville, and Tyler from Anti-Hero, we kind of discussed TikTok cops versus other forms of, really getting into the community and relating to the community. And we had a good debate. So go over to Anti-Hero Podcast, check out that Squadcast from last Thursday. I think it was the 14th. March 14th or something like that. So I'll be wrong, and you guys can talk about me in the comments if you want, but check that out. It was a good conversation about that. And it just so happens that the detective sleuths of the internet have found this officer for us. And, through Counterculture Inc., our media network, I landed the cool interview, and I'm happy to bring on Jake Rapp from, I didn't even write down a note, but what police department are you from?
Brimfield Police Department in Ohio.
In Ohio.
Basically, Kent State University is right to the north of us.
Okay. Like how many officers or people in the department?
We're a department of about 20 full-timers.
Okay.
We don't have any part-timers. We're kind of a little on the smaller side.
And so you do a lot of work with Kent State University and some kind of help in there a little bit because they have their own police department there?
They do. They have their own, and our dispatch center is actually Kent State's dispatch. We share a dispatch with them, and we're also on the same radio band as Kent City PD. So we all kind of we're constantly in contact and working together.
Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. So up there in Ohio, and then what other, tell me a little. Let's go a little bit of background, introduce you, and then we'll go into the story about this viral video and stuff.
Okay. My name's Jake, the one that everyone's been dubbing the EmoCop, which I'm all about the nickname. That's cool. I totally own it. I am 36. I graduated high school in 06. So all of that early stuff, that early Census Fail album, just a big fan of that music. That's what I listened to all throughout high school and in my college years. So I've been in law enforcement.
Let me cut you off. Try not to bang on your desk too much because it picks up in the microphone. So
sorry, I haven't used a good mic, so this is this is new for me.
Yeah, pound on your thighs if you want to like hit stuff. I know I like to talk with
hands
my hands
out of my sides.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're good. I just had to interrupt.
Okay, no, thank you. Sorry about that.
So university,
I would be what you
college,
consider an older emo.
Okay. Same.
As some people are calling that. But yeah.
You're saying you grew up kind of listening to all that stuff and following. I mean, it was a good time period. Like I was talking to you before the show. I would go to concerts, Taste of Chaos, which was like a Taking Back Sunday, My Chemical Romance, Under Oath, the band that I'm rocking on my shirt for the show today. a lot of good bands like that. I would go to those shows all the time, and or whenever they came around. Use is one of my favorite songs or bands. They're actually my wife and I's one of the songs. "Smother Me" is my wife and I's wedding song.
Oh, that's a good
So
one.
it resonates. So I feel the elder emo that you're speaking of. I appreciate it, and here we are. So, what about your law enforcement career? What makes you a cop? Like, you know?
Well, I had a lot of buddies in college that actually were going for criminal justice, and while they were in college, they did police academy, um, and they had a passion for it. And I kind of found some interest back then, but um, I ended up not going into law enforcement at the time. And then some years passed, and I just kind of wasn't feeling like a career in sales was fulfilling. It wasn't 100% for me, and I wanted to do something else. And I tried going the law enforcement route, and it turned out that I really just enjoyed it. I enjoyed working with the people and not trying to sell them something. So
Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey,
I've
but
been in law enforcement for 10 years, and I've been with Brimfield for the last almost 7.
okay. Okay. So, two different agencies, working through. Yeah, and that's like, so I did it. I went to college and then went straight or well, not straight, but I did. I was in retail for like a year while I kind of figured things out and got into law enforcement, but I had done criminal justice. Not necessarily the degree for anybody watching it that's looking into getting into law enforcement that I'm saying is important or you need to do it to be a cop. You can have a degree in business administration, engineering, whatever you want. Like, and if you decide you want to
Mine's
be a
in
cop, then go
communication.
for it. Well, it, I mean, we talked about earlier being like public information officer and communicating.
Yep.
I think communication is a good degree to have if you're a police officer because you do a lot of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and it's cool. You got into sales, so you use your communication background, you work with people, you talk to people, and now you just got to sell them different stuff. You gotta sell them, hey, put these bracelets on, sit in the back seat of my car, stop beating up your spouse, that kind of stuff. You know, did you? Oh, I couldn't tell if you were. I couldn't tell if the screen was lagging or whatever. All right, well, let's jump into it. Like, so
Okay.
this story took off like maybe a week or two. I think I sent Tyler the video like a week and a half ago. I saw it on Instagram, but you said it took off more on TikTok. Tell me about this.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, Somebody shared it, and it kind of blew up a little bit, and some people in the area saw it. But then um, a bunch more people started sharing it that they filmed it. I mean, it was a couple of days after, and then the promoter and the promoting company that basically puts together the event, and they posted on Facebook, Instagram, and on TikTok, and it kind of took off from there. My department page started kind of getting some traffic, so I'm like, well, we kind of need to keep it separate from the department page. So I made my own TikTok, and then it just has completely exploded, and I did not expect it at all.
Yeah,
Um, so it's been really fun. And I mean, just talking to people from all over. There was one guy who was from the UK that said, "Hey, this came to me all the way over in the UK. This is cool." Like,
yeah,
wow, I did
that's
not
cool.
expect it.
So, well, okay. So it helped that you had other sort of allies in the fight or in the promotion of it because there was a promoter. What type of an event was it? Was it like an actual concert or
No,
was it
so
sometimes?
it is basically it's emo night. They do quite a few of them at the Outpost in Brimfield. It says the Outpost Kent, but Brimfield is a township in Ohio, so we don't have our own zip code. So we go by Kent zip code. So
Yeah,
any address it shows is Kent and not Brimfield. So the Outpost Kent is actually in Brimfield Township limits. Um, so uh, yeah, so
yeah,
the way that they run it, and I just found this out on TikTok when I was talking. talking to them. They have Guitar Hero in the back, and
Right.
usually we kind of stay in the standing area that's over by the bar and the seating area. So you have the bar to your, when you walk in, the bar to the left, the seating area to the right, and then there's the dance floor, and then there's another little back area back there that goes out to the back. They have a stage out back as well. But basically, they have DJs that'll play music, and they got microphones, and you can come up and you can sing along with the song. It still has the vocal track on it. It's not like an actual karaoke track. I was singing. That was actually me singing, but Buddy Nielsen from Census Fail, his vocal track was still on there as well. So we were kind of singing together.
Yeah, you guys were doing a little duet, little together. So, and I mean, it looks like it was a packed house. You know, I know locally we get things like emo prom. They do, you know, emo events where cover bands will be there. Maybe they do have that where it's kind of like a DJ set and everybody's just sort of dancing and kind of feeling the vibe, feeling the energy of the music in the nightclub or in the nightclub. And this is like a nightclub in Brimfield that is popping normally, right?
It's not really a nightclub. It's more of just kind of a bar with a dance floor.
Okay.
So like there's a band that's real big in our area. It's called the Buck Naked Band. They're a country band. So they'll do like a country night where they headline. They do hip hop nights. They do emo night. They do all kinds of different themed nights at the bar. It's really cool. It's a really cool local place. That's why we always love stopping in there. The staff that works there are real, just super friendly people. They like it when we stop in. You know, we don't typically have any problems down there.
Yeah.
So that's why we like stopping in and just seeing everybody having a good time. And it just kind of so happens the emo night is my element. So I love going when they have them, and they do have them a few times a year there. So
you don't go to it dressed up as a cop. Well, like, what were you doing? Like,
no,
I
am on duty. I am on duty when we go. So our department's big on community policing. So if there's events at a certain place or any businesses or anything like that, go do walkthroughs, you know, talk to people while you're walking through. But the outpost is the only place at night that's open in Brimfield anymore because our Walmart closes, our Meijer closes. There's no other place open. So the outpost is open. And if we're not on any calls or anything, stop in, hang out for a little while, see some people having a good time, listen to music, whatever. The live bands that they get there are usually really good. So that's always fun. But it was just basically what we shorten it to a COPS is what we call it, but community oriented policing service.
Right.
So
that's and you guys were doing a business.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a business check. You're doing a business check, bar check, business check. You know, I got bars in my city that sometimes they run into, they get issues and stuff. I mean, I used to work details at some of the bars. So, just for security type purposes and everything. And it was always a good time. And, I mean, I used to make friends. I mean, some of my first tattoos that I got were from tattoo artists that I met that were, patrons of that bar when I was on detail.
Awesome.
And it's like, I knew the guy, I talked to the guy a lot. I knew he was a tattoo artist. I'd rather have a connection with a tattoo artist than just walk into a shop and have any artist do it. So, this guy was working on his apprenticeship. So I let him kind of practice on me and do my first couple tattoos.
That's cool.
But, how's that situation go? You guys are in there. I'm not going to say hanging out, but you guys are in there, working the crowd, doing your job, keeping your eye. One of the things that I brought up when we were discussing it on the Anti-Hero podcast was about I joked around because I was like, the guy wasn't in there by himself, because I know that I know that social media comments are going to be like, what if there was a problem? And I know some people on one of the posts that was shared was like, he had the best vantage point for any problem that happened in the bar because he's up on the stage and he could see the whole crowd, just talking about police work and stuff rather than actually singing. And, we're great multitaskers, but, you had people there with you as well in case something were to break out. You wouldn't have to do a stage dive to handle it, right?
Yeah, I had two partners there that were right off to the side of the stage.
Okay, yeah, covering your six, covering your back while you were off screwing around, derelict of your duties, singing on stage. I'm just getting it out of the way where the haters are going to hate.
They were covering every number of me, actually, though, because I think I was more like a stopwatch the way I was moving.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, it looked like you've done this before. Are you a karaoke circuit guy, or are you a musician? Like, what's the story on that?
No, well, I'm a musician, obviously.
Okay.
The video I posted on my TikTok, I kind of showed that a little bit, but I was in a band for a little while. We were a country rock group, so not my favorite genre of music to play, but I made friends with the people in the band and they invited me to join, and it was a lot of fun, and we were actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of fun with them, and unfortunately, it was just one of those situations where we all kind of went our separate ways. But we still, every once in a while, we'll talk on social media or shoot a text. We all, and that was a long time ago that I've done that.
It's probably time for that text to say we're getting the band back together.
I would love that very much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, or anytime I do karaoke, I just, especially when it's emo music, this type of music, punk rock, whatever. I mean, I feel it. I feel the energy, and I just love doing it.
Yeah, easy to jam out, and then of course, obviously, it's a high energy rock music, and then it brings back nostalgia. So it's got the whole gamut of emotions. So there's where we start with the emo name. If anybody listening to this really didn't have a clue of what we're talking about with the word emo, or where did it come from?
That's funny.
We're not shortening emu or something like that. Like you're a big bird. So has there? Let's see. Well, like how'd you get up there? Usually you got to be drunk, and I'm really hoping you weren't drunk. So usually
No.
people that thrust themselves up on stage to do karaoke have been drinking. Were you drinking?
No, on duty, not a sip of alcohol.
Okay, perfect.
So we had gone to the emo night 2 weeks prior,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, you know what, I'm going to throw on the old playlist in the cruiser, and so I threw on my YouTube music, and it did its thing and played all the hits, and Buried Alive came on, and so I immediately remembered all the words, and I'm like, man, this song, I forgot how much this song cranks. So I mean, I'm driving around night shift. There's not a car on the road. My radio in the cruiser's blasting. I'm sure, hopefully I wasn't in the neighborhood when I was doing it, because I probably would have woke some people up. But I'm singing in my cruiser at the top of my lungs, and I'm like, man, you know what? I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna get up there. I'm not gonna. 2 weeks go by, and the event happens, and it's just high energy. People are coming up and talking to us, taking pictures with us, and I'm talking to the promoter, and he's like, hey, can I take your guys' pictures? Can we take pictures? Can we put them on our Facebook? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. We're public servants. You don't have to ask us. I appreciate you asking us. That's cool of you. But we are in the public eye. There's no media release or anything like that. There's nothing to fall back on from us. And then it was like one good song after another. And I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. And another thing that a lot of people have commented on was the irony of it. Yeah, I picked that song on purpose because of the lyrics. So it's all about the cops overlook the evidence, and the singer, he's no, I'm finding the evidence. I'm going to prove you guys wrong. Like, here's the evidence. It was a murder. It wasn't a suicide. And so it was, I like the irony of it. I thought it was funny, and
No,
I'm seeing some
got
people found the
goosebumps.
sense of humor. So.
No, I got goosebumps, and I totally dropped the ball on that during the squad cast when we talked about it. I gave the wrong song name. I knew the song lyrics, and I just gave the wrong song name during it. I'm like, damn, I totally screwed up. But I know the song because, as you said, and I mentioned this earlier on the phone to you, is that the detective nature of the song. The gumshoe sleuth, kind of like he's going to be a private detective and he's going to solve this. And it kind of goes to a lot of times, sometimes in our job, real life, figuring out if a suicide is a crime, as it quotes in the song. Was it a murder or was it a suicide? And sometimes, a loved one or a person like in this song, he doesn't believe it's a suicide, so he's going to prove it. That's the freaking awesome. Great point. And it worked. And I do enjoy Easter eggs like that, or like a hidden message behind that song. So perfect. You didn't just come up there and do some Bob Marley, I shot the sheriff, or that kind of thing. A typical like cop song. But yeah, so perfect. So you built it up and you knew you were going to go up there, and you did that song. You said, hey, I'm going up there. And then what happened after? Stage dive?
No. I put the microphone down and I just walked off. And then I said, okay, let's get out of here.
Let's go back in service. And
maybe I should. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have gone so crazy up on stage. I'm like, but you know what? Whatever. It was fun. I had fun. I mean, it was just listening to the music. I honestly was like, the thought. It was a fleeting thought in my mind, leading up to the night. I like leading up to going in there. I was like, that's not something that I should do. I don't think. And a big part of punk rock culture is anti-oppression, anti-police. Totally get that. And it's not always, it's not always viewed positively. And there have been some people, but you know what? That's okay. We're in America, First Amendment, it doesn't bother me at all. But I actually was like, nah, I'm not going to do it. And then the music kept going and I got wrapped up in the nostalgia, and I said, you know what? Hey, ask the DJ, you care if I do one? No, I'll get you up next. So I did it. And then I'm like, all right, let's get out of here.
That's awesome. So you got out of there. Any fanfare or anybody like, patting you on the back, like, yo, what's up? That was awesome. Like, it let you just kind of slink your way out of there and move on.
Oh, there were plenty of people that, that actually did think it was cool and were shaking my hand and stuff. So we didn't stay too much longer after I was done. But there were quite a few people that found it entertaining. So
I'm going to move into something else, but let me run a quick commercial and then we'll be right back. Let me pull up these media assets and we'll be right back. Yo, what's up, everybody? I want to let you know I have a new website format. Same website, donutshoppodcast.com, but this time I'm running it through Shopify. Make it much easier to purchase items because aside from the hats that I have up there, Donut Shop Podcast, PVC hats, the blue line snapback, laser mesh, nice and clean on the inside, comfy hats. I have some other swag, t-shirts, can koozies, just some other stuff that I put up there. I'm running the website through Shopify, and so it'll make it real easy for you guys to go on and purchase some stuff and support the show. So thanks for tuning in and following the show, and don't forget donutshoppodcast.com. Thanks. All right, that was it. We're back from that one. So like how long first, like how long did it take before you started getting hit, like on the, like you said, the department's Instagram, or I mean TikTok or Instagram, and then did you feel like, oh man, this thing, like people are seeing this?
Um, it was a couple of days, I think, a couple of days, and then I kind of got a couple of text messages here and there, and then it was Saturday morning. Saturday morning at about 5 a.m., I got a message from the promoter from um, All Creatures Entertainment, and he said, "Hey, somebody from On Patrol Live got a hold of me, and they said that they wanted to get a hold of you. Can I pass them your contact information?" And we sent some
Mhm.
messages back and forth, and we chatted. Trent's a really nice guy, so we were messaging back and forth about the night and everything, and so he told me that, and then my buddy sends me the podcast that you guys did,
Mhm.
and um, I made my video and said, "Hey, this is my page," and it seemed like another couple of videos, different points of view, um, that all kind of went up around the same time, like Friday night, Saturday morning, and it took off this weekend. I mean, it just took off.
Nice.
I still can't believe it.
So I mentioned it before, and then you said, like, and you could see in the reel that we posted on Instagram that we were generally positive about the interaction, what we saw, just from for what it's worth from our voice. Have you seen videos that are contrary, or to a negative standpoint?
No videos that were negative. I mean, there's some comments, but
Comments, yeah,
um, there are. It's the vast majority is positive, and the people who are of the positive opinion of it kind of take care of the people who are being
yeah.
negative.
Okay.
But again, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and everybody's entitled to
Right.
voice that opinion. So,
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, and one of the things like that we saw in when we get into like the social media realm of police officers and social media, and I know I did a lot of it during my career for my department. And then of course this podcast is sort of, hey, I'll admit I'm a police officer, but per my department policy, I'm not able to wear my shirt, put my badge out, put out that kind of information. Um, Personally, I can't do it. If the department's done it, the department's allowed to do it. And I used to run that page, but that was my department. How's your department feel about you being involved in that video? And then, not necessarily that you took it and shot it out into the internet, somebody out there in public did it. And then obviously the promoters probably did it, shot their own, and then kind of rode that wave too. How's your department feel about this sort of thing?
well, again, we're in the public eye. Whether I got up on stage or not, people still took pictures with us, and they have every right to take pictures of us, even if they're not, wanting to take pictures with us. If they want to say, "Oh, look at these guys, they're just hanging around at the outpost," um, or if they are taking pictures with us, saying, "Hey, these guys are really cool. They're just here hanging out." Um, it's our patches are visible, our badges are visible, our name tags are visible. Uh, People know that the outpost is in Brimfield,
Yeah.
and I believe our photos are still posted on the department's website. We're public servants, so
Mhm.
my name, my badge number, what department I work for. I mean, it is going to be very easy for somebody to find out. So it
Yeah.
doesn't matter to me, and as long as I'm not painting my department in a negative light, that's the important thing, and that I would never do,
Right.
because obviously, like, people were so worried that I was going to get in trouble for this video, for
Right.
participating in this event, and I didn't. And I had a discussion with my chief about it today. The only thing he didn't like is that it wasn't pre-planned and that I didn't talk to him about it beforehand, because it was kind of a surprise when he saw it. But he said, "No, you didn't violate policy. You didn't do anything wrong. It was very fun, and it was like you guys said, it was very humanizing. And honestly, I was just a guy in his element. That's what it boiled down to for me. So
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, and part of the point that we were kind of making with that, and with a lot of what the social media and then the community relations stuff that police departments might do, it needs to be organic. It needs to be what, um, you know, maybe who this officer about is about. If an officer knows how to play, like in my city, we have a large Caribbean population, stuff like that. If one of our officers knows how to play a steel drum and they get out there at an event and they start banging on the steel drum and it actually sounds good. I mean, if it's an assault on the ears, then yes, I feel like they should be beat up about it. But if it sounds good and stuff like that, by all means, let people film it. There's an officer out there relating to his community. He knows how to play the steel drums, and he's out there, with people that are a focus group. He's not forcing something into it. It's not like we brought this steel drum out here and said, we think you guys like steel drums. We're going to play it. And look, we have an officer. Like, it was organic. You were there. They were already doing their thing, whether you were there or not. And
Mhm.
you joined in, and Mike from Copville brought it up as well on the squadcast that, it's kind of no different than an officer, either getting a call about kids playing basketball in the street that are causing maybe a traffic concern on a side street. We've seen those stories all the time in the news and on social media when, the officer might get out there, talk to the kids a little bit about traffic and paying attention to the road and maybe not getting hurt, and then saying, hey, who's got the ball? Like, let's go, and playing basketball or throwing the football with a street football game or out in the park or something like that. I mean, as long as people aren't impeding traffic or breaking laws or breaking rules and we engage in it, that's a natural way for us to relate to, like in my story, the kids that are playing basketball. They're not just thinking the cops are showing up to shut us down. No, man, you guys are playing in a side street, you're having a good time. And I like to hoop up a little bit and get a little exercise, even though sometimes it stinks to play in the belt and in the vest and stuff. And might cause some bruises, but it's good community work, so people know who you are a little bit better. So that's that was the community you were working with, the rock community.
Yeah, and we do a festival every year. We call it Brimfest. I was scheduled to do a 2-hour acoustic set, but some things happened with the schedule, and unfortunately that fell through. And then it pretty much ended up getting rained out anyway. It was a bad weather weekend for it. It really stinks because it's a fun time every year that we do. It's the biggest thing that the town puts on every year. So I was really excited to play, and then when the scheduling thing happened, I was pretty bummed out about it. But so I was going to be out playing music anyway, so this isn't too far off. That getting up and doing some karaoke was out of the
Yeah.
realm for me.
Yeah, maybe the department will put up a recruiting tent or something like that out front next time or something like that. I mean, although with 20 officers in the department, I don't think you guys are pushing hardcore for recruitment. I don't know if you have many spots available.
Yeah, we are looking for at least one right now. So
Hey, all right,
we're
maybe
always accepting applications.
you need a drummer, right? So you guys create a little band.
Well, our SRO that just retired is a drummer, and he actually texted me because I hadn't talked to him in a couple weeks, and he texted me and he's like, "Hey man, you need a drummer? I got you."
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
got a super nice kit down in his basement. So
yeah. Cool. Yeah. Hey, maybe it's something you work out. So we we were talking about it a little earlier, and I, like, so emo bands, classic lyrics, throwback lyrics, all kinds of stuff. I kind of pre-toss you the question because I know it's a little bit of a thinker. um Give me like a favorite emo lyric from any kind of band that you resonate with.
So the band that I first got into was Something Corporate,
Okay.
and I've kind of followed Andrew McMahon, the singer piano player. I've followed him since those early days. You can see back there my sheet music book that I got is Jack's Mannequin. That was his first side project after he was diagnosed with leukemia, and then beat that. The Something Corporate albums, and then the first couple Jack's Mannequin albums were some of my all-time favorite albums of any genre, any artist. But the song Ruthless by Something Corporate, lyrically, I love that entire song. I could still be ruthless if you let me. I think my favorite line from that song, though, is "The rising tide will not let you forget me."
Okay.
Like, you can leave, you can wave goodbye to me, but I'm going to be ruthless, and you're not going to forget me. So it's just one of those. Lyrically, it was really well written.
Yeah, and the tide just is always going to come. It's inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
It's always going to rise. It's always coming. So yeah, pretty good. And it's I guess I could geek out about song lyrics and all that kind of stuff. And I was telling you that one of my favorite is from Taking Back Sunday, "You're So Last Summer." Like when how's it go? When I slit my wrist and I'd still apologize for bleeding on your shirt. So yeah. The truth. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not slit your wrist. This is the truth is, you could slit my throat, and with my one last gasping breath, I'd apologize for bleeding on your shirt. And that's a really like emo way of saying things, like that people are still emotional and they're still sorry, even though they're screwing up your shirt, for getting blood on it, when their throat's slit. So, pretty crazy. Sorry. I'm thinking about like 3 different things, and then I'm trying to remember lyrics as I go without the actual music in my head. So it's pretty badass. What would be your favorite Senses Fail song? Since we talked about Senses Fail a bunch, I really wish I could have surprised you with bringing on the lead singer of Senses Fail and be like, well, we've got someone coming in, and have him here, but I didn't. I didn't really have enough time, and I don't really know him.
I would have been starstruck. That would have been awesome. It's between that and ironically another one, Calling All Cars. I love that song too.
Got
Calling
another
All
victim.
Cars.
Yeah.
Those
kind
two.
of police related sounding song, at least by the title.
Not as much as Buried Alive was, but a little bit it is. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll geek out. A deep cut. I like 187. So another 187 from the first album release, or from the Senses Fail album release, was a good one. Seen him a couple times. I even got my wife into him, surprisingly, and she jams out. She's got him in her mixes for some reason, and it's so funny. She'll put a mix on and it'll come up, and I'm like, damn. I'm like, I forget that you got into Senses Fail, through the years. So we got it. Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of, I wanted to get the story, wanted to get that. Do you have any other takes on the situation, or on the, the viral nature of the video, the community policing type stuff, the model? You have any other kind of takes you want to throw out there at me, or?
I think this is wonderful. I love seeing it. I got into this profession to be a part of a community and to represent policing in a good way. And this actually, I mean, this kind of made me feel like I am doing just that, what I set out to do. And I love the department that I work for. I really feel like I'm having a fulfilling career. And this was it was just me being me. I mean, I'm doing a job that I love, and I got to be myself at the same time. So it was just, when you get to be genuine in this profession, it's a great feeling. So it was just a regular guy up there having fun.
and happens to be able to take your freedom away, if you deserve it. Yeah, no, it's cool, and it's a good point. um you know and and it really is, like, we can have fun, and we can talk about arrests and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of uh, what my career was, and then it sounds like kind of with your department and what your career is, it is about that community stuff. Because if you lose the community and their trust, you're going to end up having a tougher time as police officers. And I always subscribe to those. And I explain to people sometimes when we had bad events in our city, um and they wanted to call the department and talk bad about it and stuff, I would talk about some of these positive things that we did within our community. Because it's one thing, somebody from the UK that sees this video, you're not policing them, you're not working with them. They may travel through your city or go to visit Kent State, but they don't live there. And so your policing doesn't necessarily always affect them. So, not to say their opinion doesn't matter, but it's like I would tell people that would call us and bash us that I had to talk on the phone to, about certain big major media incidents that happened in our city. And I tell them, like, look, we've done a lot of work in our community, and we've built an account with them that sometimes these bad events, occasionally, we have to draw from that account, and we're going to build it back up. But they trust us to fill that back up with interest, all the time. And I think it's a good thing. You got to have real police work occasionally, and people got to go to jail, and you got to do stings, and you got to do traffic stops and everything like that. There's a reason for all of it. But I think relating to the communities, some of the best stuff that you can do to really make everybody's job easier. So hopefully you getting up on that stage and a video that became viral about it help some of your guys and some of your people on the streets in your city make their job a little easier, except they may get asked to sing.
Well, we got one or two other singers on the department, so you might get lucky and get one of them.
All right. All right. Well, I challenge you to not make anything. And I think you're on board with this. Don't make anything fake. Don't create stuff that is unnecessary. That kind of stuff. Like the genuine nature. If I'm on a soapbox, the genuine nature of this, it works good, man. And a lot of respect to it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is, I kind of wanted the story, wanted to hear about you. I think we learned about you a bunch. Tell me the social media handles, and then we'll put them on. I'll put them on the description for the YouTube video, and then in the audio platforms, Spotify and Apple.
I'm gonna have to look them up because I literally I just created the accounts,
Okay.
and just have kind of been
All right.
rolling
So
with
for
the
everybody,
notifications as they flow here.
for everybody listening, it's easy. You don't even have to listen anymore. Just go down to the description and check them out, because you've got a
Yeah,
TikTok for it, and then you've got a Instagram for it.
there you go. On
I,
I believe it's
I'm
the EmoCop 1417 for both Instagram and TikTok. 1417 is my badge number.
okay. All right. All right. So, you gotta, in my opinion, you gotta protect a little bit of the identity. So protect as much of the identity as you can, but do so. Keep on doing the good work and having fun with it, and hopefully the chief keeps letting you kind of trust you with the reins once in a while, and lets you set you free.
And we're going to meet later this week to kind of discuss some content moving forward. I think I'll probably do a couple videos in the future, just of me maybe recording a couple of songs or something.
Yeah.
Because I always kind of wanted to do a music page, but I never really, I don't know, just never really kind of found a platform to do it. So maybe this is that, and I'll record a couple of songs and post the videos, and then do some other police related content. I don't know. I don't know what this is going to look like.
Yeah.
I guess stay tuned.
Cool. You want to share the department account just that way in case you guys do have something that comes up in the future that's kind of cool. Maybe people will throw a follow or a like or whatever, so that way they know where to find it.
Yeah, our department is most active on Facebook. You can just look up the Brimfield Police Department on Facebook. Our TikTok, I believe, is at BPD. So Brimfield Police Department.
Okay. Yeah, I'll throw some links in there too. That way, in case anybody, if you do come out with something cool or the department decides to throw you in a mosh pit or something like that and figure that that's a good idea, I'd throw that suggestion out to the chief that you should do like live reporting from the inside of a mosh pit. That might be funny. So,
but yeah, my body game's going for that one.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Activate that one. I think you might spread the mosh pit out a little bit as soon as you walk in. All right, cool, man. Well, Ohio, not far from Jersey, but it might be difficult to get to. I don't know. April 14th for you and for anybody out there. Counterculture Inc., our umbrella kind of media company, the Donut Shop podcast, Anti-Hero, Conduct Unbecoming, all these podcasts, Locked Up with Copville, all these podcasts. I mean, there's so many of them. Check out Counterculture Inc. on Instagram. There's a website. Those links are, of course, down in the description. We have a meetup event in Jersey City, New Jersey, coming up. It's going to be at a brewery, 902 Brewery. Guerrilla Warfare Tactical is hosting it, and there's going to be there's going to be a live podcast going on there. We'll kind of have a round robin of different hosts coming through. Meet all the players from these podcasts. We have these law enforcement social media influencers, military social media influencers, a lot of guys that are in the network, all going to be there. It's on April 5th. It's a Saturday. April 5th. Starts at 6:00, 902 Brewery, New Jersey. That information will also be down. So Jake, I invite you. I don't know if they have a stage, but feel free if you want to make the trip over to Jersey, come on over and be a pseudo celebrity for a minute. See if you can enjoy the 15 minutes that you may have and have fun with it, and meet the other guys from Counterculture and the other podcasts and stuff. So if you have anything else you want to throw out and add, otherwise I think we're good to wrap it up. This is a good episode.
Yeah, just thank you for all the kind words you and the other guys had to say about the video, and thanks for having me on. It was a real pleasure. I really appreciate it.
Cool, man. You. So hope we got the story out, and then maybe a little boost to the social media. So stick around, and then we'll chat after the show.
All right, cool. Thanks, man.
Thanks, everybody, and see you later.
Calling all units. Donut Shop has a fresh dozen. Go ahead and take a 1040.